Maryland was technically part of the Union during the Civil War, but its allegiance was dicey enough that President Abraham Lincoln stationed troops in Baltimore to make sure it stayed that way. The state song describes the Union occupation as the despot's heel upon thy shore. That said, bygones with the North are apparently really bygones. Maryland has now, in a way, asked permission to secede from the South, or at least from the southern region of the Council of State Governments. Maryland instead would like to join the eastern region of the Council of State Governments. No state has actually switched regions since Missouri went from being Midwest to Southern in 1994. Maryland now says it would like to make the switch because, according to its state officials, Maryland has more in common economically and socially with states like Pennsylvania and New York and New Jersey than it does with southern states like Virginia. Especially Virginia now, since the last election, it is fast becoming known as Jesse Helmsistan. As we have covered on this show, Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell rescinded the state's old anti-discrimination order right after he was elected. He replaced it with a new one that explicitly doesn't protect gay people from being discriminated against. So it is legal to fire state employees in Virginia simply because they're gay. It didn't used to be legal, but the new Republican governor of Virginia took overt steps right after he was elected to make it legal to fire people for being gay right after he became governor. Happy 2010. The hard-right anti-gay activism of Virginia's new governor is in part how a Maryland state senator is making his case to a defense contractor considering where to locate its new executive headquarters. The contractor is Northrop Grumman, and they've received a perfect score from the gay rights group, the Human Rights Campaign, for the last few years. One Maryland state senator has now written to the company suggesting that if the company wants to do right by its reputation for being respectful to its gay employees, the company might want to move its new headquarters not to Virginia, but instead to a nearby, less vociferously anti-gay state that rhymes with Schmaryland. Of course, Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell has not been alone on his anti-gay policy agenda. There has been a Robin to his Batman, a Chong to his Cheech, a Mr. Bigglesworth to his Dr. Evil. Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli, he's the one on the left, has been by Governor McDonnell's side for this dramatic turn of the Commonwealth's government against its gay citizens. As soon as Governor McDonnell cut gay people out of the state's anti-discrimination order, Mr. Cuccinelli followed up with a directive to Virginia's public universities telling them they could not legally prohibit discrimination against gay people, and they should change their existing non-discrimination policies if the ones they did have already included that protection. Mr. Cuccinelli is the Attorney General, right? So maybe there's some highfalutin legal reasoning behind that order. Maybe he's not, personally anti-gay at all. Maybe there's just some more complicated procedural legal explanation that's above all of our heads, maybe, right?
Do you think gays, the practice of homosexuality is a detriment to our culture?
The acts are, I mean, you certainly want everybody in your society to be integrated into the society, so that's a focus that I'd like to take.
Consider that focus very much taken. Here on national television. You're welcome. And for the record, some people think your acts are detrimental to American culture too, sir.